welcome to How Do You Drew?
This is a Drew Barrymore podcast brought to you by thedrewseum.com.
And sponsored by our friends at Positive Media.
I'm Anne.
And I'm Ashley.
And hello.
Hello, friend.
Welcome to the Just Post Thanksgiving episode.
Welcome to the Just Post You Hanging Out with Drew episode. If you guys didn't hear that, that's not an exaggeration. Anne and Drew hanging out, episode 61. Go check it out.
Hung out for a split second. It was pretty exciting, guys.
It's more than a split second, let's be honest.
Pretty exciting, guys.
And you know what? That reminds me when Mila, my daughter, sent in the drawing for Drew in the first season of the show. And Drew was reading it, my little letter that I sent with it. She goes, Ashley, don't be a stranger. We've hung out many times. Like, oh, yeah, I got it. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Many times in our dreams also. Also,
yeah, I'm happy to not be a stranger, Drew. Just come send me an invite. Here I come.
We'll be right there anytime with bells on.
Yep.
Okay, so right at the top, we've got one of our favorite segments. So can you tell me about what Drew proclaimed her love for this past week?
I love love.
Let's do it. So Drew loves to drive fast. We knew that.
Yeah.
She loves a gravy boat.
I do too. It's such a specific little thing. It only comes out a couple times a year.
Right. She loves mustard. Same.
Ooh. Same.
Horseradish. Not same.
I think I need to experiment more with horseradish.
And then did you know that Drew loves celery?
I don't think I realized just how much she loved it.
Let's take a listen.
Let's hear this.
Drew loves celery.
Love
Celery. Clearly.
That was one of her most passionate proclamations ever, I think.
Oh my goodness.
I also threw in a bonus hates because we love when Drew's mad about something. She says, no, thank you on garden gnomes. Nothing pisses her off more than a garden gnome.
What? Did she explain?
No explanation.
Nothing
pisses me off more than a garden gnome.
Nothing pisses me off. All right. So how about our Druism of the week?
Oh, someone's picking up, those cool little isms that we do.
I'll set it up context wise. So Drew had these two lovely security women from, what is it called? The Met Arena. Anyway, wherever she saw the Taylor Swift concert, it's like in New Jersey or New York. And she made friends with these two women who were working security there. And Drew kind of told the story of how they became friends.
Okay, let's hear it.
When you came in, the whole world just lit up when I saw you.
That's
truly
exactly how I felt about you guys. I really did. I felt like we avatar tailed and we sort of plugged in and had this great connection.
I love it.
So cute. I love when the Druism includes a sound effect.
Yes. As they often do. It's whatever way she's expressing something using words or adjacent to words.
Yeah. Sort of words.
Yeah.
All right. Should we talk about some of the mail we got this week?
You've got mail.
I actually pulled two because I was just feeling it.
Yeah.
We have Catherine on Facebook. After our episode last week about your going to the show, she had a really nice response. I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
She said, yes, and a bunch of heart eye emojis. How exciting. So happy Drew knows about the pod now. Hopefully a guest appearance. Cross fingers. Yeah,
yes.
We are on the same page as you, Catherine.
Yes. All of the fingers crossed, all of the toes crossed.
Yeah, putting it out there.
I mean, we'll keep you all in the loop. If you're regular followers, you know that we don't hide much. Okay, so what else did you pull?
We also got a really lovely comment on our 1995 year in review episode page. That's our episode 14. So Yolanda left us a wonderful comment there.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read it, and we're just going to go for it unedited because this whole thing is just sweet. Hi, Anne and Ashley. This is Yolanda again, slowly making my way with catching up on the podcast. I hope it's not too obnoxious to leave comments on old podcasts. By the way, it is not.
Not. We love it. Do it more, everybody.
Anybody, always. Yes. But I had to on this one because hello, 1995, Drew.
Yeah.
I think this is my favorite era of Drew because it always brings back a magical time period in my life personally as well. Being a teen in the 90s was truly so fun and magical, and Drew just represents that so well in 95, 96.
I totally feel that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I have such intense mid-90s nostalgia.
So she says, going to grunge alternative concerts and just the free-spirited, grounded, raw energy of the time. I remember soaking up that Rolling Stone magazine. Drew seemed to be everywhere more than ever at the time. Totally. We've talked about that being like one of the renaissances.
Yep.
And I'll let you take it from here.
Okay. And I totally relate to this. So it's a great place for me to jump in. Yolanda continued, all I watched was MTV back then. Shocker. Hee hee. And looked at Rolling Stone and all the teen fashion magazines at that time. This sounds like my life.
Mhm.
And she seemed to be everywhere. And I just soaked it up. I remember also being jealous in a good way of Drew at that time because my friends and I were so into the Riot Girl grunge scene and Drew was smack dab in it all.
Yeah.
I also remember all the cool 90s dresses, X-Girl shirts, and chokers I used to have that I got rid of, which I regret so much now. I could go on and on about this year, but just the feelings of being a wild and free teen back then just will always bring back such an indescribable feeling. And this era will always be part of my memories of being a teen back then. I remember Drew really showing up more than she ever had before. I agree that this was a turning point in her career also. Definitely enjoyed reliving these cherished memories through your podcast. Thank you.
And thank
Aw.
you, Yolanda. Like, we live for somebody being able to like tap into an emotional, memory thing for themselves, as well as being able to be like, yeah, Drew, like this is what we do this for. So
I think that's definitely like one of our themes of this podcast is nostalgia. We can't really help it. And 90s, if you were a teen back then, you guys know, you understand. Yolanda's totally describing exactly what a lot of us feel.
yes,
so good.
Totally. Like, even though we weren't in it in 95,
not in the Drew world, but I was way in the MTV, Rolling Stone magazines. That was like all my life. That's all I did back then.
my nostalgia is sort of like wishing that I had found it earlier.
I love that.
But we've got nostalgia up the wazoo, just like many other things. Okay, so what was Drew doing this week in history?
Okay, I was excited when I found this because she actually just talked about this recently.
Oh, cool.
So we're going to set it up and then we'll play the clip. So November 29th, 2002, Drew attended a Rolling Stones concert at the Hard Rock Hotel here in Las Vegas. By the way, that does not exist anymore.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's now the Virgin Hotel, but she attended it with Cameron and Lucy, of course. This was like, I think they were in the middle of filming Full Throttle, so they totally have that look. They're all wearing newsboy caps, which is hilarious. Couldn't be more 2002.
I didn't even realize it. Drew's got the big star on her cheek.
Yes, which we've talked about.
And it's like big. It's like when she really went diving in on drawing on her face.
She's wearing a tie. Like, this is total the early 2000s style.
Yep.
I did notice in a couple pictures in the background, you can barely see him, but Drew's old friend, Brent Bolthouse, was also there, which is fun.
Oh, cool.
But anyway, so she had Hillary Duff on the Drew Barrymore show recently, and they were discussing early 2000s styles. The funny thing is, this was the only one they showed of Drew that actually was from the early 2000s. The rest were from the 90s.
Oh my God.
You know me, I'm like, that's from 1993. What are we talking about here?
Oh my God.
But this one was great. And Drew talks about that night.
Scar on your face. I was going to the Rolling Stones concert in Vegas with Cameron and Lucy.
Oh, fun.
And I got way too drunk and was in the hallway late that night going, I'm an independent woman. And they were like, yeah, get in the room.
Anyway, I thought that was really fun that she was so candid about that night.
Yes. And, I'm happy to hear stories about when she did drink, though we know that she's made a conscious decision not to.
Yeah, but good that she can have a sense of humor about those times.
Absolutely. I'm an independent woman.
I know, which I love. Little Charlie's Angels in joke there.
Yes. Okay, so before we get into our fun topic for the week, what's new with Drew?
Okay, not too much, but we do know that she went to Nashville and it was to interview Dolly Parton, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
And I was kind of giggling to myself. Hopefully, we'll get some sort of stories about this, but we know that she went to Dollywood with Nancy Javonin right before she was going to start filming Home Fries in '96. So, what if she shared some of those photos? We've seen some. Remember, she has the black hair and she's like on rides and stuff. I guess we'll have to share one in this episode, but I hope that she shares more. That would be so cool.
I hope that she talks about that. That would be really cool.
So anyway, and this is just a fun thing. If people don't know this, I think we've mentioned it before, but when she was in Dollywood, she got a necklace made that said Sally is like kind of part of her prep for Home Fries. Oh, so cute.
I love that so much.
So while she was in Nashville, she did her thing, and we're going to talk about this later too, where she was out in public and handed out Drew magazines at a coffee shop. There is a video on Drew's Instagram of her doing this, which is so cute. We'll share the link in case you guys missed it.
Yep.
And then an Instagram user at Staria Clark, she posted a really cool picture of her and Drew with a really sweet caption kind of explaining what happened.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and read the caption. I was sitting in the Thompson Nashville, which is a hotel, having a morning coffee business meeting. And this woman comes up to me, hands me a magazine and goes, here's a magazine just in case you need something to read. It took me a minute to register that it was actually Drew Barrymore. She hopped around the lobby and the coffee shop, passing out copies of her magazine and taking pictures with people. What a beautiful person with bright, strong, loving energy. Such a cool celebrity sighting.
Love that.
We love this. Yeah. And then as you'll hear when you get into the main part of our episode, we talk a little bit about how Drew has continued to pass out copies of her publications as she had since the beginning of Flower Press.
I love the consistency.
Yes. Okay. So now you read the title of the episode. You know that we have our friend Tony Crago back on the episode.
Hooray!
And you may have seen, for those of you who submitted questions on our Instagram, make sure you listen for your question here, because I believe we used almost all of them.
Yeah,
so,
we had some great ones.
Yeah. So we had a great time talking to Tony. So here's our conversation. Okay, Tony, welcome back to the How Do You Drew pod.
Tony.
Thank you. It's so good to be back. I missed you, ladies.
Yeah, you know what? You're our first repeat guest ever.
Ooh, really?
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
And you
Thanks
said at
for
the end of
having
the
me.
first one, like, I'll come back. So we're like, we're going to take you up on that.
It took us a minute, but
I had such a good time. And now look at you guys. You guys are how many episodes in? You're like,
Oh,
oh my gosh, 62?
Yeah.
That's
impressive.
wild. You were on our episode 13 originally. So yeah, lots of time has gone by. We've done a lot.
That's cool.
Woo.
Congrats.
Thank you. And thank you for all your support.
We actually gave you a thank you shout out in our last episode. So you'll have to go listen to why.
Oh, okay. For sure.
Yeah, it was for connecting us with Drew's current assistant and helping Anne make that fun adventure in New York. So that's all kind of thanks to you.
Yeah, Christina's the best.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
We're just learning how awesome she can be. Like we're finally in.
I know. She's great. She is like, she takes on a lot. She's always like, come back, help me. Like, oh, if only you were in New York. I would.
Yeah. Well, this was my question. Do you wish that the show and like Barrymore Brands and all that were based in LA?
Oh yeah, 1000%. I don't know why. I mean, I know why she moved, but like, it's just like New York. No, but I mean, they're all thriving, so I'm happy for them. But no,
Yeah.
If it was still all LA based, because we'd all still be one big happy family. However, Christina may not be there, so everything happens for a reason. I
That's
guess.
Yeah.
true. Yeah, it's true. No.
It had to happen so she could get that
Yeah.
opportunity to be in the world, to be brought into the fold, of which we will all be brought into eventually, hopefully.
But yes, selfishly, I wish everyone was in LA.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
Aw.
I re-listened to our original interview with you, and you said, "Yeah, Drew always said she'd be pulled out of her house with a body bag." Like,
Yeah,
Oh.
I would say. Guess not.
I guess she's dead now. I guess that's what
Like,
we have
yeah,
to.
exactly.
I guess that's what we have to come
This
to
is her
terms with.
ghost that we're watching.
But
Yeah.
also that makes sense. Now it makes sense for us to be the historians because it's the past.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, I guess maybe that era of Drew is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad to think
Onto
about.
the newer one.
On to the professional talk show business lady who
Yeah.
we still get the little bits of the wild gal and
Yeah, every once in a while.
Okay, so we asked our listeners and followers on Instagram to send in some questions for you, Tony. So we're gonna go
I'm
through them.
scared.
I don't think there's
Very
anything you
nervous.
should be scared of, but you're gonna enjoy some of these. They're pretty fun. I
Yeah.
really thanks to everybody who submitted a question. We got a great response, and that was very fun to see.
Yeah,
Yes.
very cool. I'm excited.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
So, first question, what was the most fun part about being Drew's assistant?
Gosh, I mean, I had such a great time working with Drew. Like every day was different. That's what I loved about it because it didn't feel like for me, I had all types of jobs. I worked in offices. Yeah, and to me, it was just like every day was different. Like you never knew showing up what to expect. Like one day we're in LA just shopping around. The next day we're in Paris. I don't know. It's just different every day, which I love. So that and the experience that I got with her and the opportunities, like those are the best things that I'll always take with me. So I'm super grateful for those. Yeah.
That's so cool. Kind of on the same track. Two different people asked if you had a favorite memory with Drew.
Favorite. So I would have to say when she shot the movie Blended, because we got to go to South Africa. And that was the first time I was able to go to South Africa. And never in my wildest dreams would I have thought I'd be in South Africa. So I would have to say that one because it was such a great opportunity. And I met some amazing people, had some great experiences. Yeah. I think that was the first movie that I had done with her professionally. So yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah. And then I got to go to South Africa again on my own for like a month. So I, being able to meet the people through her and experience what I did brought me back there.
That's
So
so
cool.
cool. Really cool. I like this question though. It's vague. It says craziest moment with Drew. And I actually was wondering, I mean, that could be interpreted whatever way you want.
Yeah.
What is the craziest moment?
My gosh. There's probably a lot.
I was thinking that too. How could you choose?
I know. Gosh, I have to really go back in my archives in my brain. No, yeah, I don't know. Let's go back to that one.
Yeah. I love this one. This was one of my favorite questions. I hope you have an answer for this one. What's the best gift that Drew ever gave to you?
Oh. The best gift by far is she sent me and my husband to Greece.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty special. She just said one day, she's like, I want to send you and Michael on a trip anywhere you want to go. And I was like, what? No, what are you talking about? You're crazy. So then I came back and I'm like, well, how about Greece? And she's like, whatever you want. So yeah, so we went to Santorini, Mykonos, and like, yeah, it was pretty special.
That's amazing.
I love that.
That's really cool. Great answer.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I know she's got such a big heart, always giving the best.
Well, then
gift.
she with that show, she redid Deborah's whole house, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. That was
Yeah.
so awesome.
That
You
was
still have to watch
amazing.
that, Anne.
I know, I do. Okay, so I feel like this is on a similar track to the craziest thing, but this is a fun one. What's one of the most surreal things you ever had to find for Drew?
I mean, there's probably so many things.
But again, you're trying to be like, how can I?
Yeah, your eyes are twinkling like you have something funny to share.
Oh gosh. Well, we always had to have the iced tea.
Of
Yep.
course.
Back to
We
that.
have
So
questions about the iced tea.
no
believe it or
matter
not.
where we were, we had to find the iced tea. So that was probably the top of the list. Not that that's out of the norm, but when you're in South Africa and they don't have Tijava,
Right.
you got to find ways to get Tijava.
It
Which
always
we
comes
did.
back to the tea.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
We have a
always.
question about that. Approximately how many gallons of iced tea did she have a day, do you think?
This comes from my lovely partner, Jared.
Oh, that's right. This is the one from
he
him.
wanted me to say, Jared from Moore Park asks, approximately how many gallons of iced tea did Drew bring for dinner?
Jared from Moore Park, she probably drank like at least 1 gallon for
It's a
sure.
lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And is it those like glass bottles of tea Java that she would use?
Be like the small size or the big size.
Okay.
Whatever we had on hand.
Whatever's handy.
So those small bottles come in like a 4-pack. Like
Yeah.
if you get the big case, they come in
Yeah.
like a 4-pack. She would definitely pretty much go through that entire. I mean, we'd had stacks and stacks. She would at least go through 8.
1 pack.
Yeah, like crazy. Like just in the morning, she's probably going through like 3 when she wakes up. Yeah.
It's so great. I mean, when I was talking to her after the show, Anita pointed out, because I was with our Drewby friend Anita, and she like pointed out that Drew like had her iced tea and she was like drinking it and chewing on her straw while she was talking to me. I was like, I didn't even notice. It just felt
Yeah.
so
Just
like
feels
normal. If she
Yeah.
doesn't have that in her
cup.
hand, like that would be weird.
cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not iced tea.
No, but is it one of the beautiful hydration cups though?
No, it's not. But
Okay.
Christina's like, I'll send you one. I'm like,
looks
where is it, Christina? I haven't gotten it.
Reminder to Christina.
Yeah, this is a lot stronger than iced tea. But no, yeah, she drank a lot of it.
That's great.
Always have to like, I had to like brew it and make my own Tijava if I couldn't find it.
Wow,
We would
dedicated.
learn like what tasted the closest to it
Yeah.
and like, have those like handy in case we couldn't find the
Well, you said the PG tips last time.
PG tips. Yes,
Oh,
that's
that's
it.
right.
We would travel with those. You have a good memory.
Yeah.
Um,
I also just re-listened to the episode because I needed to be fresh.
I forgot we talked about that. But yes, those I would travel with in my suitcase, and you know,
Just in case.
they didn't have it over there, or if
You're-
we could find like a Starbucks or something that would have the closest.
I just love
Amazing.
everything. Like I feel like I could just have a whole interview about her ice.
I
tea
know.
drinking.
Well, it's funny. People obviously were taken by it because they submitted questions regarding it.
That's amazing.
Okay, someone else asked, what did you like most about her and what did you find most challenging about her?
She is like, well, the most giving and the most kind and the greatest soul. Like she just has the biggest heart. She always looked out for you. Just she made you feel like, I mean, we became a family. She just was always so welcoming, and just she brought you into everything and just was all inclusive. And I just loved being in her presence. Like she's just such a big presence, and there's just so much to like learn from her. Yeah, I mean, she's great in every area. The most challenging is probably that she has her hands in everything. So it's like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do
Yeah.
this. It's like constantly going. So keeping up with that is challenging because it's like she's tells you one thing and then she's on to the next. And like you just have to like figure it out and get it done and go with it. And
Yeah, that tracks.
yeah, like she just, I remember like her magazine, Drew Mag, like
Mhm.
was just a paper, and she just always had it in her. And we're always like, why does she want to do this magazine? Why? Like, no one's gonna get it. And like she would take it everywhere. We do these like out of her own pocket money. She would create these newspapers and we would like take them out everywhere. I remember we were at like a concert and we were like in the audience and she's just like handing them out to people. I'm like, she's still doing that to this day. And it's so funny because
Yeah.
I was with my friend Angela when we went to go see the XX with her in New York, and we were handing out these magazines, all of us together. And we started off at like at a hotel, like we were in the hotel like bar, like eating, and then all of a sudden we started handing out her magazines, newspapers, and then we go to this concert and we're handing out these papers. And then today, to see her handing out these magazines again, I always send this clip to my friend. I'm like, look, she's still doing it. It's just so funny.
She's consistent, that's for sure.
She has it in her mind. She's going to get it done, which I love. That's so inspiring.
Yeah, it is inspiring.
It's awesome. And actually, we were talking about like the Flower Press newspaper version and how like we were like, how did you get it? Because I think we have at least one of each of the issues.
Yeah, well, they used to send them with Flower Beauty purchases for a short little while. So that was another way but otherwise it was like you got lucky if you saw her at a concert and she handed it to you.
Saw her in the train station.
Yeah, hands on the ground. Like,
yeah,
I love it. But it's also like there are people who post about like their encounters with her at a random coffee shop because, you know, it like gets her like actual physical being to promote this thing, but it's like it's Drew, like
pretty genius. Too bad we can't go hand the podcast out somewhere.
We could. We'll just
little
make
like
CDs.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like thumb drives.
Yeah,
You're just plug this in your computer, it's totally safe.
No viruses, I promise. We're Drew Barrymore fans. Why would we ever do anything cruel? Okay.
You have all the old newspaper flower presses or no?
So Chris sent us a huge box of one of the I think the second issue.
But it's an oddly like rare thing because there was a finite number printed. They weren't like distributed like a normal newspaper. So as far as our collection goes, it's like a pride spot that we have some because they're like, you know, we just happen to get them however we got them.
Now, do you guys, obviously you do, but is her magazine subscription based or do you just buy it? It is
now.
Yeah, we finally both were like, after like every time, like, they don't have it here. They don't have it here. We finally both were like, let's just subscribe. And now we get it in the mailbox like way before it even is promoted, like way early. So it's definitely the way to do it.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. And I've never really even looked through it. What is going on in the magazine? Similar to Flower Press?
No, there's always a lot of cooking stuff, like a lot. I'm always like, there's too many recipes, like, because I'm just not a cooking person. She was never, I mean, she always liked cooking, but she's way more into cooking now than she ever. Yeah.
I remember in the beginning, she did not know how to cook, but she was trying to learn because she was going to have Olive. So it's cool to see her, how big into cooking she is now.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like what she talked about, like, making soups when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't that a thing?
Just trying to learn something.
Yep.
But there's a lot of design stuff in the magazines. Always like beauty product stuff. Those are kind of the most consistent.
I feel like she features like smaller makers sometimes. Like they do like features on like
small businesses and stuff.
Yeah, that's always really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
It's really great. It's a really well-designed magazine. It was funny because last time we're like, wow, this is like mostly recipes. And it was like, it's the holiday issue. So of course it's got like tons of holiday recipes.
Yeah.
It has like a gift guide. I don't know. It's a great magazine. It feels like it's got her all over it. And it does.
Yeah,
like
it does.
She's featured in many of the sections, like with her own sort of personal spin. It's cool. Like it feels like her. You can feel her in it. Okay. Next question, which I really love. What is the biggest thing you learned from Drew as a friend and or colleague?
That is a good question.
It's also a big one because it feels like
how could you choose one thing?
Let's come back to that.
Okay.
Yeah, those were all the ones that are like, what are the most or the best? Because we put them all together because those are hard to answer.
Yeah,
the rest of these might be easier. This question is, how much were you around when they were doing the pilot of the Drew Barrymore show? Were you there for any of that?
Yeah, I was there for the majority of it. Yeah, I remember like from the like sales tape, the reel that you put together from that point on, and then her, submitting that to CBS or whoever it was. And then once it got the like green light to do the pilot, I was there for the pilot. And then I think I was even like in a couple clips on the pilot. Which we'll probably never see.
Oh,
I don't even know if the pilot was aired or if it was just something that we kind of used as the sales tape.
I think they've shown a little bit of Cameron Diaz doing like the news thing with Drew.
Yeah.
I've seen that, but I think that's about it.
Yeah. So it was to film segments for that. And then we had to fly to Miami to some conference event to where she kind of like had to show it off to people and stuff. So
Oh, wow.
and then until she got the actual green light. And then that's when I left to come back to LA because I didn't want to move to New York full time. So
Yeah. You're like, darn it, the show got picked up.
I know. No, I was so excited. I just wished it would have been in LA.
Yeah, we do too.
I know.
I know, because you guys would be able to go like once a month.
I mean,
Well,
wouldn't that be cool if we could go all the time? That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
they'd have your own like seats with your name.
segment. Oh,
Have our
yeah.
own
Okay,
segment.
seats are good too.
Segment, Ashley says.
Segment,
Love
yeah.
that.
I'm manifesting, guys.
No, I was just like, yeah, so I was there pretty much for the start of it.
Was it exciting? Like, it's such a different project.
It was so exciting. Everybody was so excited because it was something different and something like, we're like, yes, this is so perfectly you. Like,
Oh,
yeah, it was a cool moment. So I'm glad. I'm so happy to see it succeeding.
Yeah, I like how she talks about, though, like first season, she's like, I was just like goofing around with myself because I didn't have like, the audience.
yes,
And like,
yeah.
she's like, I was a little kooky at first. Like, we've loved
Yeah.
every version of the show and who she like, is out there with it. It's so great. This question, I feel like it might have an obvious answer, but maybe not. Maybe you'll surprise us. If you got a chance to be in Drew's audience, are you going to take it?
Yeah, for sure.
You already did. I saw you
I know.
there.
Then like I was just in New York not so long ago, but I think it was during the strike, so it still wasn't happening. But like
Yeah.
Christine was like, "Oh, I wish we were filming. You could come to the show." And I'm like, "I know. I really want to go see it. I do want to see it in New York because
Me
like
too.
like it's there. It's where it started, and I want to see it. So hopefully, I'll be able to make it out there when it's shooting.
Yeah, tell Charlize
there,
to go
like-
do something in New York.
I know. I'm waiting for her to like promote something so we can go on the show.
Oh,
And that would be
yeah.
like a whole moment.
Oh, that'd be
a
so
perfect
cool.
excuse. Then you and
Yeah.
Christina can be like, bumping fists backstage. And...
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen.
I love that.
We have a movie hopefully next year coming out. So hopefully when
Oh,
promotion
cool.
happens, we'll-
Yay. Fingers crossed. Okay, so this is interesting. This is my own question because I thought of it this morning when I was getting ready. I don't think we talked about this last time, but you were kind of around in the beginning stages of Flower Beauty, right?
Yeah. Early, yeah, beginning stages of that too.
What did you have to do for that? Like, do you remember anything specifically?
I just remember going to, and I don't remember where where they make the makeup. Like we would go and see like it actually being made and her like working with the formulists, to create these things. So that was cool.
Wow.
But yeah, that's all I really remember of it. And then
You were doing so much at once. It's probably so hard.
not so much out, but there's just I remember Flower Beauty, the beginning stages for sure.
So
and now
cool.
everybody has like a makeup line. And you know who I saw had, and I was like, she's following in Drew's footsteps, is Selena Gomez has the makeup line, and now she's doing like pots and pans. And I'm like, what? Good for you, but okay,
She's
Drew.
like, I got this formula.
Yeah. Here's the like path you take. She's gonna have a
It
talk show
worked
before
for
we know it.
Drew. Yeah, exactly. Like Selena Gomez and pots and pans. All right. Doesn't really.
Okay, so this next one kind of goes on a totally different topic, but it's totally in your perspective.
And two different people asked about this.
I'll just ask kind of both because it's the same question, but different versions. Do you think Drew will ever do a dramatic project like Grey Gardens again? And then another person asked, do you think Drew will return to acting and will we get to see her in more serious or dramatic roles? Based on what you saw her interest in that.
Yeah, I mean, she's said she's done, but they all say that and they all come back from and I feel like there's certain things like an Adam Sandler would pull her back.
Yeah.
I think there'll be special things that she'll do it. I feel like now she can be more selective.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have to go back if she doesn't want to. I mean, we all want her to, because that's
Yeah.
like where it all
Where we all
began.
fall in love with
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope she does, and she still needs to win that Oscar. So she does
Yeah.
need to start, right?
That's
But
right.
I don't know. I don't know if she has with the show, like if she would have the capacity
The bandwidth.
Yeah.
do all that. I mean, like a fun light thing, like an Adam Sandler or Santa
Yeah.
Clarita. I really hope they do like a Santa Clarita Diet movie. Like,
I
give the fans
know.
what they want. We need a movie.
I love that show. Did you work on that show at all? Or was that kind of when you were not?
Yeah, I did. Oh, I did 2 seasons of it.
Oh, shoot. I didn't realize
Second and
that.
third. Yeah. Because I had left. I was gone for the first season, and then I
Okay.
came back second and
Oh,
third.
that must have been so fun.
It was so fun. I loved that
It
show.
was so good.
I know. Need to go back and watch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm
See.
ready to. We're definitely going to do like, we'll probably have to do each season as its own episode on the podcast, but I'm excited to rewatch it because it's been since it aired. I haven't
Yeah, I
watched
don't think
it
I
again.
have either.
All right, this is an interesting question. Is Drew aware of the fan sites that she has around the world?
No, I think just yours.
That's
it.
the correct
I really
answer.
do.
Perfect answer. No.
Yeah.
Except
You're
we
the
do
only
love
one.
we do love Drew Barrymore Brazil as well.
Okay, yeah, sure. Her Brazilian fans are great, definitely. I mean, I'm sure she's clued into some of it, but they don't really, I'm sure, see a lot of it.
Also, I don't feel like her ego would let her like dwell on it very much. Like she's not going to be like focused on people love me everywhere.
Yeah, right.
But how could you be aware if you've just been literally in like the public
Yeah.
eye for your whole life? How could you have any idea? I don't know, like the amount of content that's out here.
The perspective has got to be
It would
really,
be really hard to
yeah.
understand if you're just in it. If you're you, she's Drew. How why would she think that anyone would care?
Well, that's perfect for the next question.
Oh, yes, it is. The next question is, does she know she's Drew Barrymore? She seems so humble.
No, she
Yeah.
literally would like go anywhere and like takes the train by herself. Yeah, she just tries to maintain a normal life as much as possible. But she's just always like out doing her own thing. She'll go to, workout classes, she'll go to the store, like whatever she does.
Good.
But yeah, she doesn't, I don't think, really realize it until people come up to her or there's a paparazzi or something. But yeah.
Yeah, it is funny. Like it does seem like she's always like so genuinely surprised that people are interested in her. But
Yeah,
I think
totally.
that's probably healthy to like keep that kind of like she probably has to feel normal.
Yeah, and we've joked about her disguises, which I feel like she's got to have like something where she just like looks like a normal person and she's not going to stand out. Like
Never. She always just wears like her chunky hat and like
Yeah.
her heavy coats, and like people recognize her from like you wouldn't even think that they would, and they're like they know, or if she opens her mouth, that gives it away.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hear her voice.
I love that. I love that she like lets herself just live her life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It seems really healthy.
Okay, we have some like more personal questions just aimed at you. So someone wanted to know if you have a favorite of Drew's movies.
I would have to say Never Been Kissed or Blended, both because I was a part of.
Yeah, I know. It's like because your first and your last, right? No, I guess your last was The Stand-In. That's not your favorite?
That one was really quirky, but it was interesting. I didn't hate it.
Anne still has to watch that.
You haven't seen that? Come on.
I'm like, we have to discuss
I
that
don't
one.
like Drew Barrymore. I love her. So I just try to give her the respect and the space that she needs. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I will watch it eventually.
Never Been Kissed is a good one, though. That's one of our most popular episodes, is the one that we did on Never Been Kissed. That one just means a lot to so many people.
It really does. This is just kind of a fun one. Personal question for you. How long should we wait until you visit Germany? From our friend Baka, who lives in Germany.
He knows the twins.
Yeah, I love the twins. I saw them in Italy. No, yeah, Italy last year. And I need to go to Germany. I've never been, so I'm hoping soon. I would love to be out there.
Yay. Stay tuned, Vaco.
They can show me around.
That would be awesome.
That's awesome. They're so sweet.
I've never been. Dying to go.
This is from Drew Barrymore, Brazil, from Renata. She doesn't have a question. She just wanted to say, you have always been so nice to all the Brazilian fans. Thank you, Tony.
That's another place I want to go to really badly is Brazil. So when I come out there, she'll have to show me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're welcome. We love the
Aw.
Brazilian fans.
Oh,
Yeah, she's a good one. Okay, and then the last
we love her.
one, you might be able to figure out who this is from. Favorite memory working with Mason.
Is that from Mason?
yeah.
He was the worst. No, just kidding. Everything. Mason was great. He took me under his wing when I first started, and we became fast friends. Like he was awesome, and he was a great person to learn from. He knew his shit, and I always looked up to him. So
Oh.
sad to see when he left me.
Did you guys have like specific ways that you broke up your tasks as the assistants?
Yeah, he did more at that time. He did more of like the business side of stuff, and I did more of the personal stuff. So that's how we kept it separate.
I think we kind of knew that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I was like, I kind of would have guessed
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Sometimes it would cross over, but mostly that's how
Yeah.
You guys seemed like a good work team.
I have so many great memories with Mason. Like being able to travel with him, we would always we would do so many fun things together. I remember we had to move Drew had a house in Austin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, years ago, like long ago. And so we moved the house. Mason and I got like a rental car, a rental truck, and moved the entire house back to LA. So we just sort of
Oh
like
my
had a
God.
trip. Yeah, we had great memories together. Oh, I miss.
was it a house she had when she was filming Whip It, or is like from way before that?
I think it was way before that.
Wow,
Wow.
interesting.
Look, you're teaching us something new.
I
had no
know.
idea.
You never knew about the Austin house?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think we knew anything about that.
Speaking
I
of
mean-
Mason, I think his birthday's today or tomorrow.
What?
Oh my God.
Happy birthday,
Yeah,
Mason.
we gotta say it. Yeah, happy birthday, Mason.
It was very fun when he reached out with a question. I was like, oh my God, I love this. I'm saving it for last.
So funny.
That's really fun. That is really fun. Yeah, you and Mason really like helped carry her through like a really, really busy time in her career because she was just doing so much.
Always,
Like-
though.
Always, but I feel like then it was like the books were coming out. She was having
Yeah.
kids. She was still doing movies. Like the show started. You know, the Flower Beauty brand. Like there was so. I mean, she still is doing so much, and like you said, like
Yeah.
that her new staff is keeping it going. But it's like, man,
Mason was the OG though. OG.
Oh,
Mason,
Yeah.
birthday
him-
boy.
me and Mason. OG.
love that.
Can't compare.
Howdy, Droobies.
Droobies.
We want to tell you about our sponsor, Positive Medium. We've actually been clients of theirs for at least 10 years, and they take care of all of our website needs for thedruseum.com.
They offer custom web design and professional coding, search engine optimization, marketing, and hosting. So we've been hosted by them, but we've also been able to take advantage of a lot of their expertise in these other areas as well.
Absolutely. So customer service is the biggest draw for us with this company. They have saved our site literally from obliteration quite a few times. But then they also help us with minor issues in just like literally a matter of minutes. So if we have like a coding question or just like something on the back end we can't figure out, we reach out to them and we get an answer back and the issue is solved within moments.
We're so excited that Positive Medium is allowing us to offer our listeners 25% off managed WordPress hosting plans using our promo code DREW, D-R-E-W, of course. And if you want to take advantage of this, visit positivemedium.com. We really, really vouch for these people. They've been so great to us and will continue to be great to us. I can only imagine.
I mean, they're great by offering this to our listeners. So take advantage. Again, it's promo code DREW, of course.
Okay, coming back to craziest moment with Drew. what came to mind?
Craziest moment. God, there's so many, but one that really stands out. We were on our way rushing somewhere to get her to a meeting, and I was driving her, and she was changing in the car, and we were stopped at a stop sign or a light or something, and she was changing, and she opened the passenger door, and this motorcyclist came right by and almost got knocked out by her. And he like swerved and then like came back over and like totally started cussing us out. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like crazy stuff like that stands out the most.
Did this motorcyclist know it was Drew Barrymore after the fact?
Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
He'll know now. He'll hear this.
Exactly. Apologies to them.
Yes, and we're not at all surprised to hear she'd be changing in the car.
No, we know that's a common thing. She's been caught doing it in parking lots by paparazzi.
Always on the go.
Stars are just like us, right?
Exactly. I mean, there's so many more crazy moments, but that one just for some reason stands out.
I love that one.
I mean, you're in the driver's seat, so it's like in a way you have this responsibility to make sure that your passengers are
it's safe. I'm like,
closed.
what are you doing? Why
you need to do the child lock?
You opening the door? I know. I'm like, were you gonna run in the back? Like, what are you doing?
Oh my God. She's like, I need my shoes. They're in the back seat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna step out fully.
She probably didn't want to climb over the seat.
Right.
So she, let me just run out real quick and get them and run back up. And then she almost knocked someone out in the process.
Drew Barrymore, just trying to get business done.
Exactly. And did you think of maybe what your biggest thing you learned from her as personally or as a colleague?
Yeah, I mean, again, she's always had her hands in so much, and like whatever she touched, like turned to gold. Like she was so successful. It just sort of gave me a drive to like really like go after what I want and just to be confident and to like pursue my goals and dreams. And I think like she, just watching her and being in her presence, kind of like she gave that to me. So that's something I always cherish and bring with me.
Oh, I feel like even, not working with her, obviously from a distance, I feel like I get that from her too. Like,
yeah, right.
We can do this podcast. We can be successful. Like we're having so much fun. Let's go for it.
Exactly.
I feel like anytime she talks about like if there's something you love, like go for it. Like
yeah,
that kind of.
Yeah. She's so like that in person, and working with her, she's very motivating. So.
Oh, that's a great way to sum it all up.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
we loved having you on this show, Tony. So cool that you came back.
Fun. I love being on the show. Yeah, thank you guys.
If you think of like a topic that you ever want to come back for, just let us know. If you're like, wait, I really want to discuss XYZ.
I think he wants to discuss blended.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Obviously, there we go. Obviously, when we do a blended episode, we'll have you on. That would be perfect.
We already know that Adam Sandler tried to teach you how to juggle.
Oh, that's right.
I forgot about
that.
Good memory.
So
yeah.
We've got one little blended set tidbit.
Oh, that's so fun.
I'm sure you'll have more. So when we do blended, we can have you
on. I'm going to have to start thinking about that stuff.
You'll have to go rewatch the movie and like take notes
exactly.
like we do.
Did you guys like that movie?
I only saw it once.
It didn't get a lot of love when it first came out, but I see it on like TV all the time now. It's out on stuff.
That's cool. I need to revisit it.
Every time I turn, I'm like, oh.
Well, and Jolena and I went to the premiere of it.
That's
and
right.
we got to talk to Drew afterwards, and she'd just given birth to Frank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was like 2 weeks out from giving birth or something.
Crazy. Do you have a cameo in that one?
No.
Okay,
I know.
I didn't think so, but
yeah,
you have other ones.
Exactly.
Yeah. We've got all your cameos on lock, I think.
Yeah, we have a little gallery in the last episode. Go look at episode 13 gallery to see Tony in the background of some stuff.
Too funny.
Well, thank you again for your time and your beautiful presence and all the giggles.
Yeah,
it's just so fun hanging out with you virtually.
Always fun to do this. So thank you for inviting me. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
again, Tony.
Welcome.
We appreciate you.
All right. See you guys later.
Thank you so much, Tony. That was so much fun. If you guys enjoyed that conversation, make sure you go back and listen to our episode 13 when he first came on. He shared some great stories that time too. We love you, Tony. Thanks for being a friend of the pod.
Yeah. So great. Yeah, we can't wait to have you back.
All right. Everybody, you know what to do. Here's your spiel. Don't tune out. Listen to what I'm saying. Go leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We'll read it on the podcast. Rate, review, all the stuff, blah, 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 blah. But then follow us on Instagram at How Do You Drew Pod, and also on our Drewseum account at Drewseum for lots of other Drew goodies.
Yes. Make sure you check out our Patreon. We haven't figured out the quote unquote rewards for our patrons yet, but please join $1 a month. Patreon.com/howdoyoudrew.
We'll get something going. I feel like you had an idea recently that we need to implement. We're going to do stuff. We promise.
We promise. We love the support. We love any of you listeners anyway, but those of you that are giving us $1 a month, we love you even more.
Oh, you're extra special.
Yeah. Make sure you visit our website at howdoyoudrew.com, hosted on the Drewseum.com. Send listener mail to howdoyoudrewpod@gmail.com. And my question to take us out is, what are you most excited about in December other than Christmas?
Seeing Mila, my daughter, do the Nutcracker. Yeah, she was Clara, which is the lead last year, which was incredible. This year, she will have a little bit more challenging dances. So that'll be great. Plus, I just love it. It's like one of the Christmas traditions I really like is the Nutcracker.
Oh, I love that.
What about you?
Well, traveling, I'll be in California for a huge chunk of December, and then I'll be visiting Las Vegas to see Ashley and the fam. So I've got a lot of stuff I'm looking forward to. I'll be away from my cats, but they'll have somebody lovely taking care of them. So not looking forward to that. But let's focus on the positive.
Speaking of, Willow just walked in the room. My cat, Fluffy Willow. Hi, Willow.
My cat's fucked off a while ago. I don't know where they are. Okay, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed our part 2 with Tony Crago. Can't wait to have him back, as we've already said. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. This episode of the How Do You Drew podcast was researched and produced by Ashley and Ann from thedrewseum.com with help from our sponsor, Positive Medium.
Special thanks to Matt Costa for our lovely theme song, Roxy Prima for our adorable logo, and last but not least, Drew Barrymore and all the Drewbies who love her. We do this for you.
Thank you.